Okay, do so.
One gentleman called in and said his was spiking up too, and Mike went out and looked at it, crawled underneath the floor, and he had vents that were actually pulled off the registers underneath the house, and he didn't know it.
And how much do y'all charge for that?
It's free. That costs you things.
Why did the meters come off the house?
Well, we're moving to a new technology, and part of that, there again, is proving processes. We, Fort Loudon, board again, back years ago, approved the implementation of automatic metering and AMR systems. It's since been changed now to called AMI, as they like to put it, automatic meter intelligence, because literally it's going to go into your home in the future. We'll regulate your hot water heater, for example. We can actually turn it off. We can actually maybe monitor your refrigerator, or other items that can save you money. Or if they need to reduce load, that could be an option too. But
This was presented in California and voted down. Why are we going to adopt it?
well, we have, I'm just saying that could be a part of the option.
That's really encroaching on my life, you
It
know.
is.
That's.
But the only thing we use it for is to read your meter. And there again, is to make it more efficient and cost effective instead of having employees running up and down the road using trucks with
Okay.
gasoline. I can read it right here on the computer. Now,
It's through
we've
the
got the
line.
old technology in there now. We're trying to move forward to the new technology where we can ping your meter at any given moment. And I've told the board, and we've had other members here before, TVA and other utilities across the country are going to a rate called time of use. Now, that's another method they're going to curtail your usage, is if you use it between maybe 7 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening, you're going to pay a higher rate than what you would after that. So we've got to be able to ping your meter just like a computer. I know that a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about with ping, but just reaching out and hitting that device and reading back and seeing what it says. But you will pay more between 7 a.m. and maybe 5 or 7 p.m. I'm not sure what it is yet, but it is coming. And you know, I've been straightforward about it. We need to educate you guys and then the customers about that. Will be here probably sooner than we want. But you may save money in the evening. I'm not
You know, I
sure.
haven't turned my electric stove on for the last 3 years. And like I said, I've made so many different moves to budgetize and be very careful. You know, it takes 15 minutes and I have hot water. We use it, I take a shower, I turn it off. I didn't realize, a friend of ours, a plumber, told me, he said, you realize if you turn that off in between times, you're gonna save money? And I thought, oh yeah, right, of course. Well, I did it, and the first time I did it, this was 12 years ago, it took about $30 off my bill, which just freaked me out something fierce, and I've been doing it ever since. But I'm saying to you, I don't really know what else to do. And when I see this fuel cost adjustment, my mind, my checkbook, and what I'm seeing in front of me, I'm doing, what else can I do?
It's like when you itemized it, when y'all itemized it, the bills shot up. They did it, I mean, when you itemized it, you're saying it's been on there since '06.
But when we, at the month we decided to itemize it, was the month that it had a really great increase. TVA increased it to almost 2 cents a kilowatt hour. So we felt like we should itemize it so you can see it. It was quite a bit lower than that prior to that. We itemized it then, and the bills did go up. We did have a colder winter than usual, and that didn't help any. But
So in other words, if we get a milder winter next year, they should go back down.
well,
right?
what TVA is looking at, and I can't really speak for TVA, but most likely this adjustment's gonna go to a monthly adjustment, and you won't see those big spikes. But, you know, hopefully it'll be more
How's
level.
your bill?
Excuse me?
How's your bill?
It's very high, but I've done what you've done, and I've pretty much pulled my bill back down to close to what it was last year, but my heat is at 65. I turn everything off, you know, used to, we'd leave the house, leave the TV on, leave the light on, not anymore.
My surcharge
we're
is
managing.
$48.
We're all managing.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is here, we've got people in need, and it's something we have to conform to. I understand that portion of it. I need to know how to
I
control
think
it.
if y'all get with Mike, he can help you,
No.
or he can say you can't do nothing else, you've done everything. He's good.
Well, I'll be doing that.
Yes, sir.
I have a thing. I think that Fort Loudon's probably doing a great job. But you guys got a black eye from TVA. That's going to take a long time before the consumer forgets that the TVA executive gave himself a, what, $2 million raise and a bonus?
There you go.
Yeah.
In
You know,
29 days.
yes.
29 days from the.
He's
29
making
days.
more money than the
And
president of the United States.
you guys,
you know.
sitting on the board, have probably made the same paltry thing per board meeting for the last 10 years. And the black eye didn't hit TVA. I called TVA and they said, well, and they put me through to
PR guy.
a PR man, about 14 years old. And I asked him, I said, how did this come about? Well, the board voted it. Why? Because they thought he needed it. Because he has to keep in line with everybody else.
All the
Well,
other CEOs in the country.
all the other CEOs in the country, all the other CEOs in the country don't run an electrical co-op. Ford CEO doesn't run it.
Just
Yes.
to expedite things here, to let you know, Fort Loudon has taken steps. We formed a committee, and they met beforehand about some steps we can do, like, what's the? Roundup. It gives people, well, I'll let JR explain that.
Well, a roundup, and that, probably when you guys hear it, you think about a spray that you use to kill weeds.
Yeah, yeah.
What it amounts to is, we're trying to get the customers, that we've got some 31,000 to agree that if their bill comes out and it's $100.01 or $100.25, they'll take that up to that extra dollar. That money is then pooled and it comes back, and we're trying to give it to organizations that will help people out in the community that are struggling with their electrical bill.
Let me let you know too, anybody in here, you contacted Duncan's office. This man cares about what's going on here. We've been in contact with him for a long time.
The second thing is, I read in Sunday's paper where, low income can get a $4,500 to reheat to redo your house.
It's in the paper.
Insulation, and it's in one paper.
Call
so-
the number, get on the list, you need it.
But Fort Loudon recognizes this, we've recognized it from day one, and we're with the Roundup program, we're trying to do what we can. But the gentleman pretty much summed it up, it's TVA is giving us a black eye.
Before all these folks leave, let me tell you, you need to get a hold of your congressmen and your senators.
Mhm.
There's gonna be some legislative, bills that come up before Congress, and we're talking about the carbon footprint. If some of those bills get passed, none of us are gonna be able to afford our electric bill.
You said that it's gonna help the people that struggle.
Yeah,
Show me somebody that don't.
that's true right now, isn't it?
I mean, I struggle to pay mine.
Yeah.
I have to do without something else to pay
Pay
my bill.
This gentleman's had his hand up for a long time.
Well, you was talking about you're gonna change up the electrical billing to where, in the daytime, it's gonna be more expensive than it is somebody going to, okay?
TVA.
So that means that us people that are retired and gonna live at home are being penalized again. Is that right? Is there anything we can do about that?
Well, it seems to be an industry standard, and there again, it goes back to the environmental groups putting pressure on Washington to pass legislation for carbon capture. Basically, even like in the states of Florida, Progress Energy and FP&L and others came before the Public Service Commission asking for new generation. I mean, we're still consuming more every day. I mean, we have people coming into this country. There's a big need for more generation. It's not being built. There's no new nuclear. There's no new coal-fired. Quite frankly, the federal government says we won't even finance coal-fired plants now.
There'll never be another.
And sooner or later, that consumption is going to bypass the generation that's being generated. So it's going to be supply and demand markets in America, and the prices are going to go up. I mean, that's one way they're going to try to put pressure on the consumers to reduce their consumption. Is you're going to pay more during the day if you want to use it, and off-peak hours, and it'll go down. Until we change our lifestyles, I don't see any other changes. I mean, that's what they're trying to do, is to change our lifestyles. We can do that in different ways. I mean, it's just like the lady said, you get up and turn your, that letter that she wrote, your coffee maker on it earlier. I don't know what the answers are. I mean, we've got a lot to learn. But, it's kind of being correlated to the fact is, we're getting into a generation now of electricity that was almost parallel back in the first generations of Edison when he first invented it. There's going to be a lot of changes in this industry